Owen Parfitt had lived a wild life, one that was not ruled by rules or anxiety, since in his younger years, he was a sailor and a supposed pirate. He became crippled in his 70s and lived his life thereafter as an invalid on the porch, watching people pass by or in bed, with his elder sister looking after him, with the help of neighbors and locals. One particular day in the 1700s remains a mystery, as Owen mysteriously disappeared, never to be seen or heard from again. In today's video, we're talking about the strange disappearance of Owen Parfitt, a mystery unsolved. Once strong and vibrant, now crippled and invalid, Owen was well known in his town, Shepton Mallet, by the residents. He had lived a wild life, even by today's standards. As a former sailor and supposed pirate, he participated in great battles of piracy, many women, black magic, and smuggling. He told these tales of his youth to the people passing by who were willing to listen as he was sitting on the porch. Although some people were skeptical of his tales, it never stopped him from spinning the stories and recounting the glory days nonetheless. Despite having a story-worthy life as a young man, his life in old age was not as exciting. He became crippled and spent his days as an invalid, sitting on the porch enjoying the people buzzing around or in bed. From moving freely from one place and adventure to another and being hands-on, paralysis must have come as a significant burden for Owen and his sister. Owen's sister always brought him out to the porch, where they were surrounded by fields and woodland. Since he was almost entirely crippled and needed help to do even the most menial tasks, Owen brightened his days by spinning tales for anyone passing for the surrounding fields who was willing to lend him an ear. Owen sits on his porch watching farm workers and passers-by. Owen would have one last adventure that would capture the attention of his English town, the neighboring villages, and later the world at large. The exact date is a little sketchy since the sources can't agree. Some records claim the following events took place in June 1763, while others assert that it was in 1768. Regardless, we understand that on the particular evening, Owen wanted to sit outside on the porch as usual, as he watched farm workers and people pass by. His sister sought the help of a neighbor, Susanna Snook, as she always did, and they carried him to his usual spot on the front porch with his coat draped across him. They then left him enjoying his evening as usual, while watching the farm workers, who were within his earshot and could also easily spot him from where he was sitting. The mysterious disappearance. After Owen's sister completed her evening tasks, she came to the front porch to check on her brother and move him inside to his bed. Since a storm was coming that evening, they needed to settle back into the house before it started pouring. To her surprise, Owen was not on the porch, and she couldn't see him anywhere near the front porch where she had left him. Initially, she was not overly alarmed since she knew Owen would not be far. He could not have gotten up and walked away by himself due to his crippled nature, and she probably thought that he had just moved nearby with the help of a neighbor. Besides, the surrounding farm had many farm workers present the entire time that Owen was left alone on the front porch, and Owen's sister thought that somebody must have probably seen or heard something. However, things turned mysterious when nobody reported witnessing anything unusual or seeing Owen walk by himself or someone else getting him. Panicking, the sister sought the help of the farm workers and the locals to help search for Owen. Leaving by himself was not a possibility, and another person would need to carry him. Therefore, the search party believed that he would be found within no time. Unfortunately, and to everyone's shock, they didn't find the old crippled man after conducting a massive search. As days and weeks passed, it became clear to Owen's sister, neighbor, and the locals that Owen might not return. He had completely disappeared. His disappearance was a mystery and left everyone with numerous questions, since nobody could recount seeing him leave, or a suspicious person at the front porch where he was sitting. Bizarre tales and theories. As time passed, locals passed along outlandish tales about what happened to Owen. The enigma of his disappearance provoked a lot of theories, with the most common one being that he had been taken by the devil. His previous life as a sailor and a pirate was filled with wickedness, and people believed that the devil had taken him to recompense for his past deeds. Since nobody claimed to have heard or seen anything on that fateful evening, the theory of the devil taking him seemed the most sensible explanation. How else would you explain a crippled old man vanishing without a trace from his front porch, with that many people within his earshot and eyesight? If I was from the 1700s, I would also believe in this tale. Another tale was that men from Bristol or his old acquaintances had come to silence his tales. Since he was very enthusiastic about his past endeavors, and he told anyone who cared to listen, it could be that someone felt that he was exposing some secrets that they didn't want to be made public. They could have also taken him to gather information about treasures that he might have acquired during his earlier life as a sailor and supposed pirate. But if this was the case, wouldn't the farm workers have seen people taking him from the front porch? Or at least heard something? Or were the witnesses paid off or threatened so they could not talk? We will never know what happened. Another tale is that Owen had dementia and he wandered off. And since a storm was coming, he was caught up in it and died. However, the dementia theory doesn't hold since he was crippled. For him to wander off, he would have to walk, which was impossible due to his condition. Or could he have been faking all this time that he was crippled just so his sister would take care of him? It's less likely that this is the case. Thus, this theory doesn't seem to hold any ground. So what happened to Owen? Since all the tales seem to leave more questions than answers. A strange discovery. In 1813, a resident of the small town named Thomas Henry Strode was involved in construction work near where Owen lived. He discovered a human skeleton that had been thrown into a stone wall cavity and covered up. Rumors of the skeleton spread across the town, and everyone concluded that it was Owen's remains. The locals were sad, and they could not fathom how Owen's life could have come to such an undignified end. However, further investigations revealed that the unearthed skeleton belonged to a young female. The hopes of knowing what happened to Owen dwindled again. A last attempt to solve the mystery. It's said that William Maskell, a lawyer, took it upon himself to try and solve the disappearance. Like many others, he wanted to unearth what really happened on that fateful evening, since the events leading to the disappearance were not adding up. After reopening the case, William attempted to gather statements from the witnesses. Unfortunately, the statements seemed to contradict each other, and there was nothing useful that could help progress the case further. And so, once again, Owen's disappearance case was closed without answers. There were further investigations carried out in 1933 after another construction episode in the town. However, just like the previous efforts, the investigation did not shed any new light on Owen's fate. In recent years, historians and other scholars have also tried to investigate Owen's case, attempting to understand how he vanished. However, nothing new is yet to be discovered, and the case remains a mystery till today. How could a crippled man vanish without a trace, never to be found? How come nobody heard or saw anything on that fateful evening? Did Owen's old acquaintances find and take him? Or was it something more sinister? What exactly happened to Owen? And where did he go? These are some of the unanswered questions that continue to press everyone who comes across this case. Maybe one day we'll get all the answers and solve the over 200-year mystery. But for now, Owen's disappearance remains one of the most intriguing mysteries. So, what do you think about Owen's case? And what do you think happened to him? Do you have any new theories or arguments that can explain this mysterious disappearance? Let us know in the comments. And hey, while you're at it, don't forget to check out our other videos. Thank you for watching.